All right, everybody. I hope you've got a chance to watch the game on some sort of a replay or something like that. If you can get to see it live with us on Saturday, but I'm pretty impressed with what I saw from the guys that's trying to make the football team and trying to get them find them a role on the football team. We had a lot of good spots there, and I'm gonna go through all of that, and then I'm gonna give you my top 5 running backs on the squad right now. It's not going to indicate who's going to get cut. I'll explain that later. But I just want to give you, like, in each day, my top 5 running backs after preseason 1, then the top 5 wide receiver after preseason 1, top 5 linebacker. Well, not top 5. I want to rank them, not just top 5. I'm saying top 5 running back because we only got 5 running backs. But our wide receiver rankings, and then our linebacker rankings, and then our defensive back rankings. And I'm trying to do that every week until we roll it into the system and season, and we'll see how close I am to the guys that actually is going to make the 53-man roster. All right, first, the number one name that's causing a lot of change in my head is Wanye Thomas. Now, Law was telling me a lot about Wanye when we were down there. He liked him a lot, and I was like, okay, let's wait and see what this guy does. But he was doing some real good stuff out there in training camp, and he's one of the big boys as well, 6'3". And the fact that he picked Trevor was huge to me. It was absolute, because it showed he's deceptive in his size and everything, because it was almost like Nahshon Wright when Nahshon Wright got his first interception in training camp. It was his extension that really freaked Trevor out. Like, dang, I didn't think he could get to that. And he got to that. And the fact that he's a mini ball hawk as well is very intriguing. So Wanye Thomas, we're going to be looking really hard at that number 30. If you can keep making plays, I don't know. You might can make some movement in that cornerback lineup. Who knows? As far as rest of the defense, Eric Scott, he didn't seem to have that great of a day in comparison to Wanye. And Eric Scott is the one who's gotten the interceptions in practice, but both was from being in the right place at the right time, which is awesome for me or whatever. But this is Wanye was more of a hawking interception. And not only that, it was against one who I think is one of the top 2 quarterbacks as far as skill wise, him and Mahomes, Trevor. He got that guy. So that's great to me. So Wanye Thomas is the one guy who changed a lot in my head, because I wasn't thinking the things before the game as I'm thinking after. Everything else went to pretty much the plan. All right, as far as linebackers, 33 was everywhere. I really liked his energy. I saw some things that I might have thought he was out of place or he over pursued here and there or whatnot, but he did very well. 35. Can we give 35 the number 0? I'm doing some number changing. I'm doing some number changing. I need Overshawn to have the number 0, and I need Deuce to have number 2. I'm a master number guy. I put good numbers on my players in Madden. 0 for Overshawn and 2 for Deuce. All right. And just getting the Deuce. First of all, let me get to Davis. Davis, he didn't seem to have that great of a day, but his running didn't bother me as much as the fact that he missed on a very crucial block that would have gotten the quarterback killed, and somehow Cooper Rush got out of it. I think it was Cooper Rush. Yeah, it was Cooper Rush. But he missed the hole where the blitz was coming. I don't know if he was. Hunter Luepke did the same thing. Well, not the same thing. He did something similar where he went and chipped on the edge, and the guy came through the middle. I wonder, is that on the running back to where he made the wrong decision to go to the end? Or was it, was he told to go somewhere else and the thing came in? So that part, I don't know, but I saw both of them in pass protection, and I did not like that. Do not get our quarterbacks killed. Okay. As far as Rico, I was getting juiced on Rico out there. I was Rico. And as soon as he gets to the 1 yard line, he fumbles. So that is something that'll cause you not to make a football team. Now, talent wise, Rico looked Rico looked really good. You know what I'm saying? His runs were nice, and he looked almost like Pollard like, to where the energy was going forward all the time or whatever. So I really like what I saw out of Rico, except for the fumble, which is absolutely positively huge. When they get to Deuce Vaughn, Deuce Vaughn looked great. I wasn't worried to see it, but I was so intrigued to see what Deuce would look like, because, some people were saying, oh, he won't do it, he's too little in the NFL, whatever. But then when you look at his college highlights, and he was getting busy on Alabama, you know what I'm saying, and TCU, but Alabama, you know what I'm saying, people think Alabama is almost an NFL squad because the entire defense ends up in NFL. So I didn't get that analogy that he couldn't make it because it was too small, because he was doing work against like guys that's going to be in the NFL 100%. You start Alabama's defense, you're getting a shot in the NFL. It's just as simple as that. So I liked what I saw from him. He did the disappearing thing. We saw good hands, and his production is going to be really like Barry Sander-ish, not as far as the big numbers of Barry, but as far as you're either going to get him behind the line for a negative before he gets started, or you got to deal with whatever he gives you. And that's what it is, because you saw a couple of times, he caught the ball and they grabbed him and tackled him as soon as he caught the ball. That's the only way you're going to handle Deuce. And I think one or two times, I know one time for sure, they got Deuce as soon as he got the handoff, and they secured him before he could make any type of setup or whatever. But if you get that kid rolling, then and just imagine that much energy coming toward a defense after Tony Pollard has just beaten you up a little bit. So I really, really like our running game, and I'll get into more of that when I talk about our top five. Who else is on my list here? Boss Man Fat made a play. Trade value going up. Maybe we can get a 7th. No, maybe Boss Man Fat might be a player too. I hope that number one, hopefully. So we can keep an eye on Boss Man Fat and what's going on with him. Jalen Tolbert, he looks like in person, his legs are big. He's a bigger kid than he was last year. I didn't see him last year, but I see how big he is today, and everybody say he's bigger than last year. So the way he played was awesome. So Jalen Tolbert could be working his way to where he can get some actually good action in a season. You know what I'm saying? So he's great. Turpin fumbled on his return, which got me a little bit perturbed, because that's your thing. You're not supposed to be messing up on that. We're looking at you at wide receiver, and you're gonna mess up on a return. Come on, man. And it wasn't that bad when he just tried to split two guys and the guy punched the ball out. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, he got, like Rico got raped. But again, that's a running back. His job is to secure the football. So I can't even give Rico a thing. But we just do not like the fumbles. He made a couple of good catches, Turpin did, but I'm looking, I saw some great stuff, not good stuff. I saw some great stuff out of Turpin in camp. He looked like a little faster little Beasley there at times or whatever, with his catching and going down, getting low balls and things of that sort. So that's the kind of stuff I'm kind of expecting. I'm not expecting fumbles, Turp. I'm not expecting fumbles. Then you see the screens. I think we have screens in the offense. Oh, and I hate the first play. I watched the Chargers game, and the first play the Chargers did in the preseason is they threw a little pass to the wide receiver to Quentin Johnson, and with 3 little blockers out there, and the play got blown up behind the line of scrimmage. I was like, that's the Cowboys play. That's the Jason Garrett play that we hate, when you just throw it to the wide receiver and there's nothing there. They just get cried. I was like, why can't we just run a regular screen? And during this game, we saw a regular screen. I can't remember who caught it. It was either Rico or Malik. I think Deuce might have caught one too, but we've got screens in the offense, so that's good. And I said about Hunter Luepke. Hunter Luepke had one really good run where it looks really powerful, where he was just like going downhill and it couldn't be stopped. But I need to see more out of him to hope he made, because right now I don't know where Honey Lupke is. You know what I'm saying? He made, and said he made a bad decision, maybe, or maybe he was told to go and chip on the end when the linebacker came up the middle or whatever. So we need to figure that pass protection out, because that's one of the major things for these running backs. That 6'6" tight end, John Stevens Jr. His size is apparent out there live. And I was like, man, I like that guy. And the way he was balling at the end of the football game, I can really see him balling with Dak like that in the first team. So watch out Hendershot. Watch out Hendershot. That's all I got to say, because this guy is a physical dude at 6'6", and he looks like he's a hustler, and he was out there running, out there catching, and all that kind of stuff. So I really like that John Stevens Jr., and the stuff that you saw out there was not different from what I've seen in training camp from that guy. I was hoping to see more from Jalen Brooks, but he did make a catch. I think so. I should have looked at the stats before I did this video. So, and I think that's everything. I think that's everything. The Mozzie thing, I guess I don't understand offensive and defensive line play. Really don't. It's like, who can beat each other up? I don't understand the technique of it. So what I saw out of Mozzie looked pretty good. But again, we won't see Mozzie's production with our eyes. We won't see Mozzie's production in the stat book. We will see Mozzie's production through other players. And the fact that I just said 33 and 35 were flying around everywhere, that means our linebackers wasn't getting hands on them, which is initially what you want. Okay, top 5 running backs so far with the Cowboys after preseason 1. Number 1 running back, of course, Tony Pollard. He didn't get to play, but Tony looks good in practice. He looks thicker. He looks like he can take a little bit of punishment or whatever. So I really like it. Number 2, who has vaulted all the way from probably number 4, is Deuce Vaughn. What we saw out of Deuce is enough, in my opinion. I mean, in my opinion, there's no doubt that he is our number 2, and I'm really excited to see him run again. And I hope, there was some fumbles in training camp with punt returns, where him dropping punts or whatever. So I really don't want to see not one turnover from Deuce in the preseason. I just said that. Maybe I would rather take one in the preseason, not one in the regular season. I just don't want to see any turnovers. I want him to be very, very conscious of holding on to the football. I was going to say, because football is so big to him. It's not. I'm just playing. It's not. But Deuce Vaughn is everything that I thought he was going to be. And hopefully now I'm hoping for him to be more. Yeah. Because I see his bottom. I see Deuce Vaughn's bottom. And now I hope it can be, I want to know what the top is. I really do. And then after that, I think Rico is number 3. I think he jumped Malik Davis, and in my opinion, is number 3. And it's like two evils there. Which is worse, missing blocks and getting your quarterback killed, or fumbling the football at the 1-yard line? So watch that. So those two might not be on our squad when it's time. It might be Ronald Jones. You know what I'm saying? If he secures the football better, if he blocks for the quarterback better, it might be somebody else who's a veteran running back in the league. I'm not going to say Ezekiel Elliott, but maybe another a veteran running back in the league might fit in that other spot or whatever. Because we're going to need, if Hunter Lupke doesn't, show what he can do, which I kind of like what Hunter Lupke he did. But if Hunter Lupke can raise his game, he's a great fit for those first 2 and getting those tough yards. That's why, even though I have Rico Dowdle at number 3, and Malik Davis at number 4, and Hunter Lupke at number 5, I think Hunter Lupke has a great chance of making this football team if he shows up very well in these last 2 football games. Very well. Like makes those blocks and runs hard, maybe score a touchdown. If we can get in it, because it definitely could happen late in the football game with the backups. But if he can get down, we can get down to inside the 2-yard line, and we hand it off to him 2 times, and he don't get into the end zone, then he's not gonna work for us. But if he gets in at least 2 carries, I'll give him a second one if they stop him on 1 or whatever. But if he doesn't get in, then he's not on 1. But if he gets in, then he is extremely the goal line specialist that he was sold to be, and we might have something. Last bit, and I didn't get to, we need a kicker, man. The kicker is not on our football team. All right, guys. All right, but Madden is coming out tonight, so I will be live on the channel right here playing. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to upload this video. I'm going to go take a nap, and I'll be up tonight playing Madden right here. I'm going to be playing it on my PC. That's the first thing. I'm going to just try, because I'm trying to be a PC gamer moving forward. So I'm going to play Madden on my PC and see if I can cross play with you guys. If I can't, I got the EA, whatchamacallit thing on PS5 too. So I'll download it there too. All right, guys, I'll holler at you. Peace out.